Well guys, as you know, there's been a lot of nonsense going on this platform and it's made it really hard for independent creators to not be kind of silenced. So today's video is sponsored by an incredible sponsor, NordVPN. I've talked about them before. Go to nordvpn.com/cleanprints and use code cleanprints to get 75% off a 3-year plan and an extra month for free. You can protect yourself online today. That brings your total subscription cost down to $2.99 a month. VPNs are incredible. They got 24/7 customer support service all over the world. They protect you, your identity, your ability to use the internet. But I'll talk about that way more at the end of the video, so look out for that. Let me get a couple of things out of the way right away. First off, obviously, I am not in my normal set. All of that is changing. Still Too Tall Desk. Speaking of, the name is still changing. As you can see, the clickbaity thumbnails are disappearing. The titles are becoming more clear. Everything is happening. It's just happening slowly. So that YouTube, really, you guys don't go, what is this channel? If I do it this way, then you guys still know it's me. You know, you won't suddenly think, what's this new channel? You get it. Also, today's story is an interesting one here on the old Too Tall Desk. This trailer has actually been unlisted. When I went searching for this trailer to put together this video, it's gone. You can't find it. The only way to find this trailer is to have a link to the trailer, to find an actual link to the trailer. That's what unlisted means on YouTube. At first I thought it was removed entirely. No, you have to go search for a link. There's a reason that 2K unlisted this trailer. As of the time of this recording, it has 14,000 dislikes to 3,000 likes. Now you might think, that's not too remarkable. I assure you it is, and I assure you it is warranted. You guys know me. I have been on my what is 2K doing horse for years. I am someone who enjoys the game of basketball. I enjoy basketball simulators. What I don't enjoy is having 2K's basketballs shoved down my throat every year when I go to purchase it. But this takes the cake. This is not your normal 2K-isms. Here we have a company that is blatantly and flagrantly absolutely taking advantage of a consumer base that probably isn't old enough to know they're being taken advantage of in the case of the people actually spending money on this, or flagrantly aware that they're being taken advantage of, don't care about how it affects the entire industry, and aren't thinking about what it means for the future of games. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, just don't pay for these microtransactions. Let me explain to you why this time that's not enough. 2K has introduced in their new trailer a lottery. Now, for those of you asking, I'm actually, as of the time of this recording, undecided on whether or not to even show the trailer, mostly because I have a funny feeling if they've unlisted it, they're probably going to block the video if I put it in here. But in the trailer, you can see that you can now spin a machine, a slot machine. You know, one of those things in Vegas that you see the 95-year-olds using? Yeah, you can spin that thing, and ding, 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 things pop up. You might win something, but probably not. Now, let me explain to you what this is. This is pure, unadulterated gambling. There is no way around it. You can now officially gamble. You thought opening card packs was gambling? You haven't seen anything yet. Here's actual slot machine gambling. But there are really big overarching problems with this that are really important. Today, I'm not going to tell you how this is bad. Today, I'm going to tell you why it's a bigger problem from a literal technical standpoint than a lot of people are talking about. When you go into a slot machine in Vegas, right, a lot of those digital slot machines, they set the odds, right? They know exactly how likely you are to get this thing, this thing, this thing, to win this thing, this thing, this thing. And you walk in there and you're playing house odds. You don't know what you're playing with. In a video game, this is amped up by 20. Every single time 2K releases something, they can shift the odds in whatever way they want to. If, and I do repeat, if there is a chance to spend a dime in 2K, and a dime of that money can go anywhere near or around the slot machine, what you've created is a situation where you're not just playing the odds of the developer, you're essentially gambling with things you don't understand. See, the problem with video games is people that are walking into a casino are 21 years or older. It's their money. They understand the odds they're working with, or at least they should. They're presented to them everybody's got an understanding of what's going on. You know the likelihood is you're not walking out of there with what you want. In a video game, however, none of that is presented to you. You don't have to be a certain age. You don't have to understand anything. You can be 10 years old with your mommy's credit card with no understanding of what's happening and believing I'm going to get this thing if I spend this money, and then believing I'm going to continue to spend this money and continue to get this thing when that's simply not the case. What 2K is creating is a standard here. A standard that has been in a long time in the making. It's worth pointing out that if you look back at 2K18 and even 2K19, you could buy your way to power in what is essentially an RPG. You could literally start the game and pay your way up to level 85 from 60 to 65 right away, right when you start on the game. You can pay your way up to level 85 to get ahead of everybody else that doesn't have the money to do so. Then, more important than that, you could spend money depending on the year on anything from haircuts to shoes. All virtual items that disappear in a year. The problem I have, though, with 2K's new slot machine approach is that they're not going to own it. This is where the real shadiness comes into play. They release this trailer, the first 2K My Team trailer, and it gets decimated in terms of public reception. Like I said, 14K to 3K in terms of like ratio. But then something odd happens. Instead of doing what Activision has done in the past, instead of doing what really every company's done in the past and leaving their trailer up and saying, you know what, this is what it's going to be. There's nothing we can do about it at this point. You're either going to buy it or you're not. 2K unlisted the video, buried the video, made it more difficult to find in order to save face. Now this is totally and completely unacceptable because what we now have is a company making decisions that are terrible for everybody and terrible for the industry, and now trying to cover up those decisions, run away from those decisions when they aren't accepted the way they thought they were going to be accepted. And my question is, so that we can enter the commentary portion of this video, is what did they think was going to happen? Did they think everyone was going to see the slot machine and go, you know what? I've always wanted to be fucked when I play my video games, and now I have the opportunity to. Thank you, 2K. What did they expect the response to be? They had to have known that this was not going to go well, and yet they still ran away from it? What does that mean for the accountability of this industry when you can make a decision, release that decision, and then run away from it and leave your consumers in the dust? If anything, this should be a warning shot for everybody looking to buy 2K20. 2K can and will make decisions that are not in the best interest of its player base and walk away from those players, walk away from those decisions, hide from them, run from them. When it comes to gambling in games, it's worth pointing out that rating agencies across the world are deeming this game appropriate for children, which means that the rating agencies at this point are in on this too. They don't seem to understand or comprehend what these things really are. There is tons of research out there. Tons of research that shows the link between loot boxes and gambling, that shows the link between loot boxes and addiction, that shows the link between in-game gambling and real-life gambling. This research is substantiated. It is scientific in nature, and it is statistically sound. So when these companies and the rating agencies continue to ignore these things, what they're doing is ignoring you. They're ignoring your kids. They're ignoring the player base. They're ignoring the future of gaming. Because I have news for all of you, and I'm going to leave that at this to not sensationalize this too much. This is just, to quote High School Musical, the start of something new. This is the natural evolution of these things in gaming. This is where the industry is headed. If 2K can do it, then Madden can do it. And if Madden can do it, then GTA can do it. And if GTA can do it, and so on and so forth. We just saw 2K, the same publishing house, Take-Two, put literal casinos in GTA Online and literal gambling. This is not a one-off. This is going to become a trend. We are seeing game companies literally treat their consumer base like gamblers. They're literally becoming casinos. And the worst part is that, as usual, we don't know the odds. We have no idea what we're working with, and what we know more importantly and now more than ever is that the $60 game we're purchasing is not getting us $60 worth of game. It's getting us just enough game for us to justify making a purchase we know we probably shouldn't be making, and then moving forward and then being asked for more. But now, as always, I want to know what you guys think about this. I find this to be maybe the strangest kind of example of a slippery slope I've ever seen, mostly because It took them literally, what, a month or two from GTA's casino to be introducing it into other games under the 2K and Take-Two umbrella. This is, I mean, what is next? Is this the pinnacle of this kind of slope? Is this the end of the line? Is this where games sit, or does it somehow get worse? And more importantly, are you going to buy 2K20? Does this interest you at all? Let me know the answer to any of those questions down in the comments below. It's a real conversation. Well, guys, as I mentioned, this video is sponsored by NordVPN. They are an incredible sponsor that allow me to continue to do this and make sure I can do it reasonably. As I've told you guys before, for years I've been using NordVPN. They are incredible. A VPN is very important. It can protect your ability to use the internet, your identity, allow you to safely use the internet without being tracked. It's all sorts of good stuff. VPNs are very important. NordVPN has automatic kill switches. You can have up to 6 connections simultaneously. If you go to nordvpn.com/cleanprints, you will get 75% off a 3-year plan plus a month free, which brings your total cost down to $2.99 a month. NordVPN sponsors me partly because I actually use NordVPN. I cannot encourage you guys enough to use this service. It'll protect you. It's great. Thanks to them for giving me the opportunity to tell you guys about this. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. In a second, I'm going to explain all this. If you haven't yet done so, press subscribe. I know I haven't been consistent with uploads recently. It's because, as you can see, once again, in the life of apartment to apartment, I have moved. So things are changing. It's been rough. Yeah, let me get into that real quick for those of you that are curious as to what's going on. I have moved. Too Tall Desk, the literal manifestation of Too Tall Desk, will be coming back. All these things will come back. Right now, it's white wall. It won't be a white wall for long. But yeah, this is what we're working with right this second. It will change. It will be adjusted. It will go back to normal. As for those of you messaging me, asking me if I've gotten sick or anything, no, I have not. Voice still sounds a little weird. At this point, I'm really just waking up with a little bit of throat pain. That's really where I'm at. That's what I'm left with. So we're all good. Everything is good on that end. As for the future of what's coming here to Too Tall Desk, more of this stuff, more of the highly edited style content, or whatever you want to call that stuff, the mini docs. More of that is coming. More consistent uploads. We're going to be back much more frequently now. Games are coming out. There's a lot more to talk about. I am finally settling in. So look forward to all of that. There's only about 5 of you left still caring about what I'm saying. So until next time, the 5 of you, I'm out.